この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Mawaru Penguindrum, starting with episode 17. Last week we watched episodes 15 and 16, where we got two dramatically different depictions of two unhealthy family relationships. The first one, episode 15, was gorgeous and horrifying through and through. We spent so much time in episode 14 building up to this big Yuri villain reveal that we had kind of suspected before, but then we had the big reveal. Putting her in a situation where we think we can never understand this character or why they got here or why they're doing what they're doing. She's in the midst of seemingly being about to rape Ringo, and that's where we leave off. And then we enter the next episode and show that she's going through with it, and then we flash back to her childhood and show what she's gone through. And it's horrifying. And we show how a connection made with one other character, with Momoka, gave her an out. And we demonstrate, in a strange way, a little bit of power, a little bit of an ability that Momoka seems to have to change fate, to alter the world line, and take the suffering of one world line onto herself, onto her own physical body. So, that episode raises a lot of questions, a lot of interesting questions, some of which include what other suffering has Momoka experienced as a result of attempting to change world lines, and what did she change them away from? And is her death during the gas attacks, or the subway attacks, we haven't really explained them in this universe, is her death a direct result of changing a world line? Don't know. No idea. But it was a fascinatingly dark episode with a very scary father character and lots of looming statues and awfulness and scariness and Jesus. Then we had episode 16, and episode 16 was the thing that I can most relate it to is a Nanami episode of Utena. If you've seen Utena, you know exactly what I mean. Suddenly, we drop all of the plot, and we go hard goofiness focused on Nanami. That's what we did, except it was focused on Masako and her weird revenge fantasies around her grandfather, who she viewed as this looming element of her life who caused her father to run away and all kinds of bad things, and yet she follows in his footsteps continuously. It's tragic, but it's also comedic that she would follow in those footsteps and find herself almost in a what's the dude who kills his father because he's in love with his mother? Is that Oedipus? I think so. It's almost Oedipal, although we reverse the genders. Like she kills her grandfather because she's in love with her father or cares about her father, but ends up following directly in her grandfather's footsteps in doing so, and ends up punished because of it. Very interesting episode, especially after the darkness that we saw in episode 15. Now what? I don't know. After that, no idea. I will say that I'm holding on to a lot of trepidation because a goofy episode like that right after a real dark episode makes me think that we were trying to break up the flow of things and not get too dark too fast at like too much. So I'm expecting this next episode to be a hard hitter, or maybe the one after that. One of these two is going to be just going to wreck me. Great. Cool. Let's watch them and find out. So Yuri has been revealed. She is the person who stole half of the diary. She has now stolen a fake other half of the diary from Masako. That's all I got. Let's watch this episode 17 and we'll see where we go from here and what we think about I've got the episode up and ready to go. Episode 17 of Mawaru Penguindrum. It's at 0 seconds. There will be two versions of this reaction as usual. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there in the description and a timer-based version up on YouTube with discussion at the end. If you want to do a syncy thing and sync up your own copy of the episode with the timer-based version, you are welcome to do so. Just get your copy ready because the beep beep timer to count you down will be coming at you now. I didn't even talk about chosen versus unchosen, wealthy versus not wealthy, the whole duality that we... Oh, hello. Someone is targeting you. Really? Really, number two? No. Oh my god. And you think that's all she needs? Yeah. It is, though, Kamba. Again, separating himself. Ooh, Stark Black Void. Hello, octopi everywhere. That scene of Tabuki kissing, I assume, Momoka's feet is a little weird. Okay, back to the hospital. I'm doing all this in a hospital room. Hey, we're doing the family home thing. Oh. This is nice and goofy and comfy. I'm scared. They look real good. Takoyaki. Hmm. Weird framing. Hey, and it's all better. Oh, Jesus. I love you, Himari. Oh, Jesus. Hmm. I don't believe him. I don't, though. For whom? You missed. Don't eat it. Oh boy. Mm-hmm. Who is this mysterious person? Sure. Everything will turn out just fine. Haha. Oh, that would be great. Oh, Jesus. Hello. Hi, princess. Are you eating it with mayonnaise now? The fuck? Is she gonna have green seaweed all over her face in the world? I'm actually curious about that. Listen, you lowlifes who will never amount to anything. Will she still be eating takoyaki in here? That would be great. Probably not. They'd have to change too many of the reusable cuts. Huh? Huh? Oh, no, we're not even gonna do that. What? Please. Oh boy. What? What was that? Who are you talking to? Tabuki? From ours? Tabuki's a part of this? The cage imagery? Oh, wow. The bottle and the tower right in the middle. Whew. Momoka tried to stop that? Dude, even his wine glass is caged. What the fuck? Oh, I know you haven't. Dude, tell me more, Tabuki. Yes. Day we played, Memorable Pond, Fate That Binds Us, Momoka was our everything. Days with her always seem to be glittering. Okay. She's there, Himari. Ooh, she is though. Unless she did some kind of weird fate switching thing and just left all of you behind. Hmm. Oh boy. Hello, hospital. Hmm. Are you allowed to leave like that? How bad? If she can? Oh. Buying yarn. Is that Ringo? Aww. And war is about to break out. Huh? Hey, have you seen Himari? Never mind. You have? Have you? Can we not? Yeah. By this curtain? Yeah. Fabulous Max. Oh, hello. Oh, the pink washing machine? The spinning penguin drum. What is it, the octopi? That's where you need to be. Are you... Really, dude? Hubby. Oh boy. What is in that bag? Oh boy. Are you gonna murder Himari? Yuri. Oh, she's imagining it. She didn't actually say hate. That's just a weirdness with how that sentence is structured. This is ominous. Masako? That's badass. That little half smile. Alright, girl. We're doing this like a gunslinger face-off. Like Western style. Oh, I'm sure. You're pretty pitchy. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. I don't know what that means. Let's Destiny. Wait, this is like Team Rocket style. Oh, she's got a similar type of weapon. Oh, Jesus. HSR? Caffee. Drink your caffee. A little bit rapey. A little bit scary. Tabuki? Who are they? Ooh. Why are there two humans there? Oh boy. Oh no. Instead of electrifying, it was Tabuki. Hello. Cages, cages. Standing far, far, far apart. Are you gonna try and throw Himari off a building? Which part? The part about Momoka? Where are we? This elevator, once again, transitions between reality and unreality. Often are done by elevator. Right. So, accept your death? Tabuki? Tabuki? What are you doing? Oh. I'd rather you did that from afar. I'm going to kill Himari. The Unforgiven. Okay. Okay. I like this song a lot. $20. That's Himari speaking, right? Nice. And that's Momoka and Tabuki, but adult Tabuki and child Momoka. Holding on to that memory. Okay. All right. Big thing. Tabuki has absolutely not forgiven them and is definitely doing a bit of a turn here. I think that's the big thing in this episode so far. Yeah. Second thing, constant cage and bars and walls imagery everywhere around Tabuki. Like instantly we start focusing on him and it's pretty interesting. Yeah, there were some scenes. There were definitely some scenes. This one in particular, I want to look at again. This whole sequence. Okay. Diary on the table. We open, Yuri's talking to someone. We're not sure who it is. We then hear the voice and it's Tabuki. These sort of empty shots of this side of the couch are really interesting because he does not seem to be in frame where we're clearly looking at where he will be sitting in frame. This is very strange to me. There's another scene. Yeah, here. Okay, so we see the entire couch, the bottle, the whole thing. She's crushed over into the corner. The tower that we found out the meaning of separates the frame in half, straight down the middle. And then we finally turn, and he's there, but he wasn't there. Oh, okay, he's not on the couch. He's further than that. He is all the way on the other side, sitting in his own chair. A chair with bars. Okay. And we frame him with all of the window slats, as though he is still in his bird cage. Okay. Neat. I love this. The bottle distorts the light, creates this big wall between our two characters, flanked by two other walls between our two characters, with our two characters sitting literally as far away from each other as they possibly can, and yet they're supposed to be husband and wife. And we see on Yuri's phone hubby, right? Loving family dynamic here. But the visuals scream that is not the case. They are in something together for a different reason, and they are not together. The fact that even his wine glass or his champagne flute has metal caging around it is kind of fucking fascinating. And then we see the same perspective warped, shifted as he speaks, as she speaks back. And somehow they put their glasses together despite being a room apart from each other. There's something strange about the moment that she says, "This room is cold." How could either of us forget? I don't know where it is. Where does she say that? We get the flashback. It's not after the flashback, right? This room is cold. We should get some curtains. Even if her life was unfairly stolen away and she's reaching out toward that. Wouldn't want us to seek revenge. She is not dead. This room is so cold. We need curtains. This beautiful apartment that we have has no life to it. We need a way to block out what's around us. Interesting. Oh, Sanetoshi. Sanetoshi gets interesting about truth, making things real ominous about what we just heard from Tabuki. Flash to hospital, she's a very naughty girl, she ran away. Of course, to do something nice for the two of you. So, the brown sweater that she was knitting was for Kamba. Got it. And we enter this fabric shop where Yuri happens to be. Oh, buddy. Oh, the octopus is also upskirting somebody. Weird. Penguins feel real off in this episode. I don't know why, but they feel real weird. And then there's this sequence, which I kind of fucking love. This is great. I got like good, the bad, and the ugly vibes for no reason. Maybe it's the music choice. Maybe it's just the way that things were framed. But we get this long walk as she walks in shadow. And we can see that there's a driver in that vehicle, I think. And then the lights come on to give her an entrance. This is her stage now, but she's up against the actress. The queen. They square off. And then they argue about being pitch perfect. Argue about ridiculous shit. Sling some insults at each other. I want to know what is parvenu? Parvenu. A person of obscure origin who has gained wealth, influence, or celebrity. Got it. A relative newcomer to a socioeconomic class. Got it. So someone who was not one of the chosen, but has made something of themselves. Neither of us can back down. And then we do, to bring back Momoka into this world, to Team Rocket. We do Team Rocket to save Mario's life. And we yell more stuff at each other as flower petals and feathers fly everywhere, and we just get so ridiculous with it that I can't even pay attention to the dialogue because it's so absurd. The fear of your innocence being consumed only allows you to see half of the world. I, who have already had my innocence consumed and have cast it away long ago, can see everything clearly. Sure you can, Yuri. Definitely not a warped perspective viewed through a bottle. Your past aspirations, you can only survive. Jesus, they are savage. God damn. And then something about budget porn magazines are all that's waiting for you in the end. The weapons are just ridiculous and over the top. Super crossbow versus chain gun. And then we just cut away from that. Like it didn't happen. I do wonder why those two random girls are humans. Weird. I guess because upskirting a walk sign doesn't make any sense. The twist on isn't it electrifying to isn't it frightening? Yes, yes it is. Are we really meeting Yuri up here? Nope, he's gonna throw you off a building. Once again, we have creepy elevator. This is super Utena reminiscent to me. But we are going up, 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 seemingly endlessly, and in just this light gradient void. It's a wonderful creation of horror. It's very strange. Feels real weird. I will show you. And then he brings it down. I shall hand down the punishment to the Takakura family. So, warped and twisted is the only thing that I can think. Not the only thing that I can think, but I think is important here. And I think those images of the tower, the sky tower, or sky tree, or whatever it's called, being warped within the bottle are an important tone setter for this episode. Tabuki has explained his philosophy, the one that he got from Momoka, to us a couple of times, that everything has a meaning, everything is important, and now he takes that and warps it. He twists it into, your punishment will have meaning, and I will be the one to bring it upon you. And we get all of this with the lines from Sanetoshi about truth. People, if they believe they have found a truth, will use that as a justification to kill. We hear that from Tabuki, and all of that Sanetoshi talk is still echoing in our minds. What he's doing is not much different from what a cultist believing that they're saving the world through blowing up a subway train might think. He thinks that he is writing things, that he is getting the world closer to truth by handing down a just punishment, because everything has meaning, doesn't it? Including whatever I do, however horrible it is. It has meaning no matter how painful it is. So you should just sit back and take it, because I'm going to punish you. Ooh, Tabuki, you creepy. Okay, cool. This is an interesting episode. Feels very much like a transitional episode in a way. The previous one that we watched, episode 16, was pure goofy, and we start off this episode with a similar air of goofiness. The whole introductory sequence, well, is not so goofy. And there's one particular moment, this one, where we frame Shoma nose up and kind of alone in frame. Like, we're showing the bare minimum of his face that we need to in order to make him emote, and then surrounding him with blank space. It's kind of weird. Yeah. But then we actually enter the episode proper. We're in the hospital, and we're doing the goofy family thing. Like, we're reclaiming a bit of that familial bliss that we've had before. Working together, making food, eating food. The penguins are being super goofy. All the characters are being happy and goofy and having fun, making takoyaki together as a family and eating together. And doing it, under the noses of their doctors and such. Don't know what the octopi are supposed to be, but yeah, that's a thing. And then we transition into Scarf, and then that transitions us into the rest of the episode. But we have this moment here where we see that Kamba, despite all of his bluster, is at the end of his rope for some reason. We don't know what he's been doing still. We don't know what he's been attempting to do to get all this money in order to pay for all of the stuff. And Penguindrum it is your heart? Maybe. I don't know. And this sequence is just so strange. Stark and empty in this apartment. Weird, weird, weird. Man, the construction of these shots is so cool. Okay, so in this frame, the Sky Tower is directly middle of frame, and the bottle is offset to the side. When we eventually switch our framing to show Tabuki in frame, bottle is direct center and is aligned with the Tokyo Tower as well. So there's something off about the situation that we see here because that bottle isn't center frame. And then it's explained when we see them sitting together. It is center frame, but only if we frame it like this. Whoa. That's really cool. That's really cool. Okay. I love this. I love it. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, we're gonna wrap here because I want to see. I mean, we need to see the next episode. Tabuki is doing a thing, and I'd like to know why he's doing the thing and what thing he's going to do. So let's take a quick break, do a syncy thing, and be back for episode 18 in just a moment. See you in a minute. Peace. All right, we are ready to go for episode 18 of Penguindrum. I felt like episode 17 was a transitional episode, starting off relatively light and then getting progressively scarier. Which makes me real scared for episode 18 because we are in an elevator. Himari and Ringo are there with Tabuki, and he's taking them for some punishment. What that's going to consist of, I have no idea. It appears from the very first frame, which I can see that we are starting immediately with a flashback. So I have a feeling we're going to do the same thing that we did with Yuri. We set up character as villainous. There's no way we could understand where they come from. Back to their childhood. Where does all of this come from? I'm really curious. Tabuki's got a lot of interesting cage imagery about him, and I assume that starts early and starts deep. Why did he form such a relationship with Momoka? I don't know. We don't know yet, but I'd like to find out, and I think we're about to. So, let us dive in to episode 18 of Mawaru Penguindrum. Beep beep timer. Mother with parasol. When I still played piano, the reason I was stuck inside the birdcage, I was a prodigy. My dream was my mother's dream. Paintings? Faceless. Faceless. Oh boy, immediately a looming parental figure. A bird in a cage? Your father loves beautiful people. Oh. Fear of abandonment? You gonna try to kill your little brother? Oh, oh, the fingers. But she doesn't care. She's just focused on... Holy shit. Oh. That was a lot. That was a lot real fast. That was a lot. Faceless looming parent figure. Okay. It's like both Yuri and Masako's story in different ways. The facelessness strikes me as very close to Masako's. The mother is a figure in his life, not a relationship. So he slammed the piano cover on his own hand in order to stop time and to not try. That's so real. That's so right on. Oh, I'm not good enough at this. I guess I won't try, and I'll just pretend that I could have been really good at this. Okay. Hmm. Oh. Oh, boy. This is so different. Stylistically. Huh? The meaning of my life. Oh, hello. Right. Explain yourself. And now he traps her in a cage. Your fate is to just watch? Bring your... Oh, he wants revenge directly. And he will use Himari as a threat to get what he wants. Yeah, they don't know where he is. At least as far as we know. Child broiler? Hey, we haven't... Okay. Uh-huh. Oh. Who is speaking? She took the... self-martyrdom. Who needs you? Wow, looks just like Ringo. Brain space. What I heard was your heart. Ooh. Oh, oh great. Oh, not great. Uh-huh. Become part of the assembly line. Broken people who become invisible. Like everyone else. Very reminiscent of a certain library we've seen. Nope. Wow. Identity. She loves everyone. And the cage is broken. And the bird is free. Okay. Uh-huh. Sure, Momoka. What the fuck? This episode, though. Yep. What's with these lights? Hi, Tabuki. Does he have a glass? No, it's the remote. Aw. I would love to know what you know, Tabuki. Who is she calling, I wonder? I can't read it. Okay, it's Shoma. Did Sanetoshi mess with them? Hidden cameras strictly forbidden. Oh. Oh. How much? And the focus on the hand. That seems true. That was an episode title. What did he put there? Oh, trying to knit a rope. That's not long enough. He will do so. Oh boy. Fuck, that's awesome. This is super tense. Mirroring Momoka. And sacrificing your own hand. Alright, we're building to it. Wow. No comprehension of family relationships. Yeah. You don't get it. He is just like her. No shit. Yeah, you do. And you're passing along the pain. My fate, right? To become the pitiful child. Ooh, I believe it. Mm. Fuck the color. The same sequence, just like Momoka. But that's his whole character. Is she gonna jump? Holy shit, she's gonna jump. The red in his heart. Please undercut. Somebody else reached out somehow. Red string of fate. Oh, really, motherfucker? I'm okay with this. Willingly re-enters the birdcage and goodbye. Who did Tabuki just run into? Yeah, it's pretty mangled. Hi, Ringo. Yeah. +1 to Yuri. All right, Masako. +1 to Ringo. So please be there for me. Genuine connection. Fake family versus real family. Pretty clear which one wins out. Wow, this episode, though. There's somebody else working on this one, because this one didn't feel Ikuhara. Who episode directed? That's the only credit that I care about. Who episode directed this? I need to find out. I will do that. We'll do it via ANN. We're back to this song. Two hands. Came real close. Okay. Episode director. This is critical. This is super important. Episode 18. Episode director. Ha. Got him. Shigeyasu Yamauchi. What else have you done? Because the style of this episode felt familiar and very different. I'm just gonna copy and paste your name. Shigeyasu Yamauchi. Yamauchi. Mal, I've been to your page before. Storyboard and director of Casshern Sins. Works on Dragon Ball. Episode director of Happiness Charge Precure. Penguindrum, 1 episode director. 1 animation director. Episodes of Ojamajo Doremi. Episodes of Shinsekai Yori. Nothing that stands out as something where I can go, oh, yeah, I see his style going on here. But that's probably because I don't know shit about shit. Fine. But director of Casshern Sins. That's something to go off of. Okay. Okay. I have to imagine that a lot of the very, very unique visual style of this episode came from the episode director in question. And man, does it work over and over and over. Going into colored line art, stark backgrounds, lots of delicious saturation. This whole opening sequence where everything is in these paintings that are what's the man with apple in front of face painting? No, that's surrealism. I don't know if these are surrealist. What would expressionism? No. The opposite of that. Is it impressionism? Small, thin, yet visible brushstrokes, open composition, emphasis on accurate depiction of light and its changing qualities, ordinary subject matter, inclusion of... Okay, yeah. I'll go with impressionist for these, especially with the brushstrokiness. With music creating the background of his life and of all his memories. The facelessness strikes me as very intentional. These faces wreathed in shadow. It's also a similar sequence to the in a way to the fairy tale sequence that we got when Shomo was talking about fairy tales, but it's very different. It's through somebody else's lens of memory. The facelessness of the little brother, the facelessness of the looming mother, And I said it before, but it strikes me as a kind of a combination of Masako's past childhood stories with the looming faceless parental-ish figure who only respects a certain kind of talent and only respects one kind of thing. Although that part sort of leans into Yuri's backstory, where the parental figure will only care about or love or connect with you if you have something abstract, some abstract concept that they view as valid and valuable. In Yuri's father's case, that was beauty, and in this case, it's talent. Your mother loves talented people with an undercurrent of so don't not be talented. Sorry for the double negative, but don't don't be anything but the most talented or I will never care about you. And under the stress and pressure of that, he breaks his own hand, hoping that he'll be forgiven for his lack of talent because he's unable to actually compete, to actually play. And she just throws him by the wayside. Where children who are forgotten or abandoned go. And after a long time, we finally bring back the child broiler. And it's a lot more symbolically valuable than I thought it was going to be. I kind of didn't know if it was just jokey, but the idea of children being broken by their family situation and then choosing conformity as the way of escaping that fear and terror as opposed to being themselves, and Momoka as the light who says, no, you need to be yourself, you need to be free. That's nice, especially in Japan, where the whole cookie cutter salaryman culture idea is a big deal and a big thing. Like, just become like everybody else, it'll be fine. Momoka rejects that idea and thus becomes the most important person in his life, but he doesn't understand why. This episode is visually stunning, and a lot of it comes to the strange angles and close-ups that we use on character faces. They are fantastic. But more than that, the environments and the way that they're lit is super awesome. The sort of graffiti-esque paint that's slathered everywhere makes every environment that they're in and every shot feel really interesting and unique. The use of birdcage imagery and very literally having Tabuki throw other characters who care about him into a birdcage the same way he viewed himself being thrown into a birdcage by his parents. Like, it's so on the nose for experiencing traumatic things and then instigating the same exact type of trauma upon other people. I think that's like a huge core portion of the message here and what we're driving at with Tabuki as a character. He is, and doesn't realize it until the end of this sequence, exactly the kind of monster that would have put him in a child broiler and disregarded any kind of real nature of connection. We go from these grays, and then Momoka is continuously once she's revealed, she's continuously more brightly lit, framed against whiteness and almost blown out exposure lighting. And then as we move a little bit later, she brings color into this area, this gray dimly lit section, in a really unique way, where we go for colored line art, which has not been much of a thing in Penguindrum so far, but we bring it in here with these purples and blues in the line art, and they bring so much light into the scenes. Fantastic. Burning away the lifeline now, and she will be the lifeline, and she is willing to take that punishment in order to free him, and she does, and she does. So, why does Tabuki love Momoka? Because she saved him. It's not just because of her mindset or her belief that everything has meaning. It's that she acted on it and rescued him from obscurity, from being nothing, from being no one, from being churned out by a machine. Light and color in this whole episode is so gorgeous. Framing as well. And these ultra close-ups, they give us so much interesting stuff. This episode is just visually gorgeous. And the whole setup is terrifying and wonderful. And of course Combo will take the punishment himself. That is what he has done the entire show. That is all he has done the entire show. Oh man, it's all getting mangle blended in my brain. I'm gonna take a break and go through the episode again, so that I'll just cut here and we'll cut back and I'll formulate some better thoughts than wow, this real pretty, because this is really pretty and there's a lot to think about in this episode. Give me a minute. I might just rewatch it. I think I'm just gonna rewatch it. I'll see in a moment. Regardless, I'll try and figure some stuff out. See you in a minute. Peace. All right, I've gone and rewatched segments of the episode, some crucial segments. I rewatched the intro sequence with the paintings. I rewatched the child broiler sequence. I rewatched a good chunk of the climactic segment, and a couple of things stood out all throughout. The texture of the backgrounds. I talked about this a little bit. The way that there's paint spread all over all of these scenes creates really interesting texture in the environments and backgrounds, and is really nice. And then there are also, where was it? Yeah, like these moments of big sweeping sort of vistas, but kind of endlessly the same, endlessly in construction and weird, and with this weird flare of light. It's like there's, I don't know, there are two sides to this image, clearly. One constrained and riddled with bars and cages and that same kind of imagery, and the other bright and open with lots of building going on, construction, things growing upward, and then our characters are locked right here in a little cage on the precipice, on the border. There's emotion inherent in the imagery of this episode, and that's something that holds true throughout. One of the lines that Tabuki says, that he wants to find out why she wanted me to live, why Momoka wanted me to live, really stands out to me, because his on the surface reason for wanting revenge doesn't quite line up. He's more, not curious. He's trying to find answers. He's trying to find meaning. He's desperately seeking meaning, and he's been pushed to this level of villainousness in the episode's context, by his search for meaning. He is broken down and cast away by his mother, pretty much the worst thing that can happen to a child, or among them, to be cast out by your family, and then is rescued by Momoka in the child broiler sequence, and doesn't know why, doesn't understand why, cannot understand why. And he's fascinated by this and desperate for an answer. Okay, so we talked about, I'm just going to check things off that I've written down. Textural backgrounds, emotion inherent in shots. Okay. The intro with its focus on identity or lack of identity and lack of connection. Tabuki doesn't relate to his mother, nor does he relate or try to his younger brother. His blood family is pretty awful and has no deep connection to him, but severing it from him destroys him. And I think that's a critical point. Like, regardless of how bad your family is, if that's the only thing that you feel like you're connected to and you are cast out of it, it can destroy you and it can create immense pain for you. And then we'll get to where we contrast that with Momoka a little bit later. So there's something about the announcer, and this is probably the main reason that I wanted to rewatch the child broiler sequence. The announcer is like chipper about this whole situation. Like, okay, I have to be number one. The way that the announcer speaks, specifically the intonation, is very similar to like your standard Japanese PSA. It's what it sounds like, and it's what they're going for. Like, oh, we'll be closing down the subway for now because of reasons, or oh, the train lines will be delayed for a short period. Thank you for your patience. Like, that's the intonation that he's going for. It's normal, and that's weird because the situation, as we see it, is anything but normal. To crush children into pieces is not a normal thing to say, and not something that you would normally say in such a chipper and upbeat tone. And what it makes me think is that this is normal. That we have a society that takes people, crushes them down into one amalgam of features and traits that makes people indistinguishable from one another, is the normal answer. It's what we've all agreed upon as the right way to deal with this. Everyone has their problems, yada yada. Just put on a suit and become a salaryman and do the normal thing and become indistinguishable from the rest of society, and don't be free and don't exert free will and just go along with your fate like all the rest of us. Conform in order to avoid pain. I feel like all of that is in this scene, and it's all there because of that announcer. There is nothing to fear. You will just become indistinguishable from each other. You will just lose everything that makes you an individual. But what that also means is you'll lose everything that allows you to connect with other people. It is only the individuals that are able to reach out to other individuals and bring them into the light. That is all that there is. And again, we come to this dividing line between fate and family, but we expand the definition of family, as we have before, to not just include your blood ties, and it is Momoka who does this. She expands this. She arrives at the child broiler as people are being crushed into shattered mirrors. She arrives. Where does she arrive? I want to see the arrival sequence. Hold on. No, this is before. It's before this. Come on. Where is it? There it is. Okay. And she touches down as the savior of humanity, the savior of the world. She bursts through this door, her hand already injured. We're going home. Home is not home. Home is not your family. Your blood ties are not everything. You have meaning to me. And he yells back at her, but I can't play anymore. Please, just reject me. That is my fate. But Momoka is the character who can change fate, and she does it by reaching out to other people and rejecting what they believe to be their fate, the one that they're instilling upon themselves, that they're forcing themselves into. And Tabuki is desperately trying to force himself into it. I don't have a home to return to, but there's somebody who needs you. It's me. She makes herself the one who needs other people and changes their fate by doing so. Yuri, I need you. Tabuki, I need you. And her reason is almost silly. I was listening, I heard you playing piano, and what I heard was your heart. But I can't play anymore. My hand is injured. I don't care about that. I heard your heart. And he self-flagellates. He's internalized everything that he's taken from his mother. Everything that she forced upon him. And that is the core of his pain. And it is the core of why he does what he does in this episode. Why he threatens to sacrifice Himari. Why he why he passes the pain along to other people and continues the spinning wheel, the cycle of vengeance and violence and death and pain. Because he hurts. And it is only when Kamba's sacrifice directly mirrors Momoka's that he realizes that he is inflicting pain on the world. Realizes that he is a monster. And says as much. Ringo, don't be like me. What you see before you is the monster who has consumed me from the inside. Because I had love. I had a connection with Momoka. And this family took it away, and so I will bring punishment upon them. It's not even a heel face turn. He stays in that place straight through to the end. We are a fake family, only using each other. I am a monster. There's no, I could be better. There's no statement of guilt or desire to improve. There's only acceptance that he's been bad. Jesus. What the fuck? Penguindrum? I really like the way that characters are continuously framed throughout this episode. Lots of super close-ups bring us straight into characters' minds, make us feel their emotions and understand them. Momoko is a truly special girl, and so is Himari. She's trying to knit her way out of it, or the penguin is, but cannot. As she falls, the string flies out behind her. We focus and focus and focus on this hand as though it's a weight upon him. And he treads upon the string of fate. I lost Momoka, and with it, the meaning of my life. We get super dramatic with the color. The blues, the pinks, the blood. And she reaches out to the tie that binds them and holds it, telling him, let me die. I already know. I don't have much time. I want you to live on. Live for yourself from now on. And then there's this cut. What's the name of the Yamauchi? I feel like he drew this himself. There's a really distinct style change between here and there. And it reminds me of some of the art that I've seen in Casher and Sins, and maybe that's a weird stretch, and maybe you know that it was a different animator who drew this particular cut, but I feel like Yamauchi drew this himself. And then there's this scene. The Cupid that we saw in the very first scene of the very first episode is our background. The ball of thread is representative of the apple, the peach, the scorpion's heart, and potentially the drum itself, while also being the string of fate as yet unraveled. Fuck, that's a lot. That is a lot of symbolic meaning in one cut. And the thread falls away. Fate falls away. And Tabuki has been the rescuer. Weird. He had a bit of a change of heart, and she regathers the thread to be made into something else. We don't get... was worried for a moment when Tabuki grabbed her. Was worried for a moment that we were gonna do like, oh, he's not all that bad. Which we've done before with other characters. We did with Yuri a little bit. But we don't. He just tells Ringo, don't be like me. Puts himself into the elevator, the cage, the bars, because that's where he exists. And he reconciles all of it with himself. Goes and meets Yuri. I took the punishment. Weird. We are just fake family. And she slaps the ever-loving shit out of him. Fuck yeah, Yuri. Fuck yeah. And she's all scuffed up from her battle with Masako. Masako's all scuffed up from her battle with Yuri. Esmeralda's still carrying around flower petals. And then we have this moment where we just sort of lay together with all of this crazy night behind us. And just sort of sit here together as a family. For what feels like the first time in a long time. I guess since the hospital takoyaki sequence, which was warm and familial and wonderful and reminiscent of their days eating together in their own family home. Here in a stark construction site with graffiti everywhere. And Ringo is a part of their family now as well. And she echoes the same thoughts that Momoka had, the same perspective and belief on fate and meaning, the same one that Tabuki tried to have but couldn't really grasp. He professes to believe what Momoka said, that there is meaning in everything, that the world can be beautiful. But he can't actually believe it because he's in so much personal pain and continuously throwing a Tabuki pity party in his own mind. He can't embody that spirit the way that Momoka could, and so he's desperate to understand. While he'll profess that there is meaning in everything, he doesn't understand the meaning of his own life or why she would choose to harm herself to save him. And he doesn't really get the answer he was seeking in this moment. But the answer is right there in front of him. Connection. Self-sacrifice for others. These are the valuable things. These are the core. And they are the way that you change fate. By finding meaning and connection. By being oneself. Please be there for me. Wow. Wow. This might be my favorite. Which episode was it where we first saw the bookshelf place? The library? Was that 9 or 10? I think it was 9. think I have that right. I'm not sure. I think this is my favorite episode since then. Interesting that it came 9 and then 18. Wow. Dramatically different visual style. Beautiful framing and general expressive shot composition. A crazy action sequence of sorts with a whole lot of tension building. And religious adherence to conveying our core theme. As nebulous and vague as those themes have continued to be, they still all circle around a central point, and it feels like we're circling closer to it. I really dig this episode of Penguindrum, and we're going to wrap there. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Mawaru Penguindrum episode 18. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to catch you next week where we continue onward after that. Cool. See you next week. Peace.